Hey guys, and welcome to a new pickups video. Pretty much my pickups for November, although I fudged a little bit of this because a few of the things that I'm going to show I bought in the last couple of days, and that means December. But I don't care, it's all kind of together in 1 month, and I'm sure I'll have some shit to show at the end of December. Anyway, I have a bigger group of stuff to show than what I expected to have for this month. Mainly just because I thought I'm not really going to have a whole lot of money. I didn't really know what kind of big new releases were going to come out this month that would really interest me. And like I said, I kind of guessed wrong in terms of that. But anyway, may as well just get into this. I've got a good 4 or 5 games, a CD, and about, 10 movies or so. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. The first thing I'm going to show off is the CD that I purchased. This is a new CD by Ellie Goulding. It's called Delirium. I ordered this through Amazon because I knew that the Walmart version was probably going to be edited, and I just don't go for the edited stuff. And I haven't opened this up yet. It's kind of stupid, but I kind of didn't want to open this until I had done this pickup video, so now I can bust it open and throw all the stuff on my computer and my phone and all this and that. Okay, so that was my CD purchase. Now here are my movies. These are all Blu-rays. And I'm going to start off here with a Donnie Yen movie called Kung Fu Killer. This was something that just came into Walmart a few months back, and I love Donnie Yen stuff. And I was like, man, it wasn't that expensive, like maybe $10. So I just managed to pick it up. Actually, some of the stuff that I'm going to show, I'm not going to point out all the ones as I do, but some of these were on layaway for a while, and then I was able to get an extra discount at my job in order to just save a little bit more money. So I got these out of layaway and got them at more of a discount. So anyway, that was one of those movies. But like I said, I'm not going to point them all out. Next thing that I have up here is a movie called Life Force. Now, I didn't talk about this too much, at least that I can think of in any previous videos, but I watched a documentary recently called Electric Boogaloo, The Wacky Wild World of Cannon Films, or something like that. It's a documentary about this movie studio called Cannon Films that did a bunch of movies in the 70s, 80s, and into the early 90s. And as I watched that documentary, I was like, I have some of those movies, I've watched some of those movies, and then I saw some that I thought might be interesting. This was one of them. This is sort of a weird sci-fi movie from the 80s that also has like aliens who are vampires, and it sounded so ridiculous that I wanted to see if it was available to buy, and I got it on Blu-ray through Amazon for I think like $13 or $14, so it wasn't anything really crazy and out there. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. Now here's something I got through our Thanksgiving Day sales at Walmart, but I got it just in the last couple of days because a copy of it popped up, and I've been trying to track this one down for a little while. This is Kingsman: The Secret Service, a movie that I've heard both good and bad reviews and stuff about it, but I was able to get this. I believe this one was $10 for the Blu-ray, so I just jumped on it, and I'm hoping that it'll be a decent movie. This is a movie that actually came out this week that I just bought. I've been looking forward to this one coming out. This is Momentum, starring Olga Kurylenko. I just really enjoy her in the few movies that I've seen with her, like one of the more recent Bond movies that she was in, and I've seen her in a few other things. It just looked kind of like a kick-ass action movie, so I wanted to give that a chance, and it wasn't that expensive either. Here's another more recent release. I'm not a big fan of the Bourne movies. Now, when I say that, I have to admit that no, I've never watched any of them. But when I say I'm not a fan of something, sometimes that just means I saw the trailers, I saw like what people were saying that the movie was about, and it just didn't sound like something that really does it for me. But this movie is sort of an interesting comedic take on that kind of movie. Anyway, this is American Ultra with Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart. And I don't know, just as soon as I saw it and read what it was about, and especially these two, I really enjoy both of them. I have a movie called Adventureland that they both did that was really, really good. I thought, this could be something pretty decent. So I went ahead and picked that one up. I think that was last week. Now I got two movies that I picked up on the actual Thanksgiving Day sales when I was at work that day, because these were both marked to $9.96. First up, I have Terminator Genisys. I'm very, very hopeful that this is a decent movie. I've heard both good and bad reviews for this. I'm a Terminator fan, but I will admit I've only seen the first two movies. I do own the third, fourth, and now this one. So one of these days I'm going to try to sit down and, over the course of at least a week or so, try to do a Terminator marathon. But I couldn't pass that up for $10. And then another movie that completes a series of sorts that I can now sit down and hopefully put a whole bunch of time into watching this. But this is The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies, the extended edition. I always wait for the extended editions of Peter Jackson's movies. So I own all three Lord of the Rings like this. I own all three Hobbit movies like this. And even like his King Kong extended edition I bought. But now I'm looking forward to sitting down and watching these, even though I've been hearing some ruminations from Peter Jackson himself where he didn't even, I guess he was quoted as saying he didn't even understand why or what he was doing with those movies, why they were so long and there was three of them. Anyway, next thing I have to show is kind of a cool thing here. This was an exclusive to Walmart. This includes a movie that I have seen that I enjoyed, and then a sequel that I have not got to see yet. But this is Divergent and Insurgent together in one pack, and this was only like $2 more than what Insurgent was running when it came out. And the best deal I'd found on Divergent was a cool special edition one. It had some extras to it, but it was $15, and for just the extra $2, I just went ahead and got both movies together like that. Okay, now we're down to the video games that I bought. And I'm going to start with a very rare Nintendo Wii purchase. But this is Super Mario Galaxy. The glare is coming back in there. This is the Nintendo Selects version. But this was $20. I had searched on eBay for it for a while. I had a really good opportunity to get a regular non-Nintendo Selects version of this on eBay like a year and a half ago with some sort of a Mario coin that looked really, really neat, but somebody outbid me at the last moment when I wasn't home monitoring it. So when we got this at my store, I just said, you know what, before this ever managed to go away, I will pick it up. What's hilarious is at the time we didn't have Galaxy 2. Now we have Galaxy 2 at my store, so I'm going to have to try to get that before it goes away. Okay, the next thing I have up here is a new PS3 game, and it's Assassin's Creed Rogue. And this one I got, it finally went down to $20. This, of course, was one of last year's Assassin's Creed releases, and the last one for the PS3 and 360 console platforms. And I've been collecting all of the Assassin's Creed games on the PS3, so I had to pick this one up. So at this point right now, I'm missing just the PS4 ones, Black Flag, which I had Black Flag on PS3, but I actually traded it away a while back because now I'm planning on getting a PS4. I wanted to get the best possible version of each. So we'll get Black Flag, Unity, and Syndicate on the PS4 down the road. Black Flag is relatively cheap. Unity at my store right now is a $15 game, and I know it had its problems and everything, but $15 is pretty cheap. I was really tempted to pick that up, and I may do it sooner rather than later anyway. But speaking of PS4 games, I now have paid for my second PlayStation 4 game, but this is the first one that I now actually own and have in my possession, because the other one is Shenmue 3 and that one isn't going to be out for probably like 2 years. But this was another Thanksgiving Day purchase, and I'm going to tell this little excuse me, I'm a little sick right now. I've had some chest congestion, so I think I've lucked out that I've made it this far without coughing. But I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning on Thanksgiving Day, and I got on Walmart.com because all of our sales stuff was supposed to be available on the website starting at 2 a.m. whereas all the stuff in the store would be at 6 p.m. So I got up with this express purpose of trying to snag 3 PS4 games for $15 a piece. And the other 2 were Dying Light and Far Cry 4, and then this one that I got. But the problem was, of course, everybody else was on Walmart.com, and it was crashing the site. And it would be really slow, or it would give error messages, or it wouldn't put something in a cart when I would click on it. It made me so frustrated, especially because the Far Cry 4 Complete Edition for PS4 was included on the $15 sale, and that's normally a $50 game. And I managed to get that in my cart, and then by the time I decided that I would just try to pay for them individually, it was out of stock. Oh, it made me so mad. And Dying Light wouldn't work. I couldn't get it to load up on the screen. This was the only one that managed to go into my cart and survive all the way through the 45 minutes I put into it. Anyway, this is Dishonored, the definitive edition for PlayStation 4. I do own this for the 360. I have played a little bit of that game back when I first got it, but when this definitive edition was released for the PlayStation 4, I was like, yeah, I'd probably jump on that if it was cheap enough. It came out at $40, which isn't bad, but I got this for $15, and that's that much better. I really enjoyed the 360 version, so I assume I'm going to love this too. And like I said, it's my first PS4 game that I own and physically can say, look, here it is. So I'm going to have to find a place for it on the shelves. But that brings me to my last pickup, and I actually did an unboxing video for this, so if you're interested, you could go check that out. I don't think it was the greatest unboxing video, but I was just so excited to finally have this. This is Pier Solar and the Great Architects for the Dreamcast. I tried to explain a little bit about what was going on with this game and how this was originally a group of just gamers who wanted to create a brand new JRPG style game for the Sega Genesis and Sega Mega Drive several years back, and who basically got together online and started to work on this, and eventually they became their own company, Watermelon, and produced this game. And then a couple years back, they decided to expand it and bring it to a lot of other platforms digitally, to things like the PS4 and PS3, 360 and Xbox One. I believe it's on the Vita. I believe that it may have come to the Wii U. I know that it's on Steam. I think it's even on the Ouya. But the only thing that was going to get like a physical version of it beyond reprints of the Genesis and Mega Drive versions was a Dreamcast version, and I was like, hell yeah, I want a new Dreamcast game. I even myself had this thought years ago, how cool it would be for people to make brand new releases for things like Dreamcast and Super Nintendos and Genisys? I'm not sure. But I think it's pretty awesome that people have been doing that for a long, long time. So I definitely grabbed this as soon as I possibly could. As soon as I saw it 2 years ago when I had my tax returns, I paid for it, and I paid for also the strategy guide, which it's really, really cool. It's very minimalistic, but it's very, very cool with this embedded in the cover of it. And even though this thing doesn't really apply to it, I'm leaving it on there because I just think it has some charm with this silly little guy on it. But anyway, that wraps up my pickups for November. Like I said, I ended up with a lot more stuff than I expected, which is really awesome. And I got a lot of good deals on stuff, so, thumbs up for that too. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in about a month or so, hopefully with a little bit more. Alright, see you then.